My child, stop now. Stop whatever you are doing, and listen to me with your whole heart. Do not rush past this voice. Do not scroll in distraction. Do not tell yourself, you will come back later, for I have placed this word in your hands at this exact breath. This moment is not random. I, the Lord your God, have orchestrated this meeting for your exact need, for the very ache you have hidden beneath smiles and tasks, for the weight that has pressed upon your chest in the quiet hours. Heaven has leaned low for this conversation, and I have arranged the timing with precision, not a moment before, not a moment after, because my love knows the rhythm of your heartbeat and the depth of your questions. Listen to me. The urgency you feel is not a threat, it is my nearness. I am not speaking to create fear in you, I am speaking to awaken peace within you. I did not bring you here to shame you, to scold you, or to measure your worth. I brought you here to steady you. I am placing my hand upon the storm that has been swirling inside your mind, and I am stilling it. I am drawing you into a safe place where your soul can finally exhale. You have asked for a sign, a word, a clear reassurance. And I am answering you now. This is your sacred appointment. I place this in your path because I have seen how heavy it has been to carry questions without answers, to navigate rooms where your courage felt small, to sit at tables where no one knew the weight you bore. Do not doubt my orchestration simply because it arrived through an ordinary doorway. Algorithms bow to my intention, and schedules bend when I call. I align this moment with your steps because I refuse to let fear keep writing sentences over your days. Feel how I am near you even now. My presence is not an idea. My presence is a shelter, a warm hand on your back, a voice that steadies your knees when they tremble. I am here to interrupt the momentum of anxiety that has been pushing you toward restless conclusions. The swirl ends when you let me speak peace. The fear that has tried to sit in your chair, to dictate your choices, to predict your future, watch how it loses its grip in the light of my nearness. Open your heart, beloved child. Let me gather the fragments you have been holding. Let me remind you that you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not on the wrong page of your story. I timed this to tell you that I will not let you leave unchanged. I am covering you with calm. I am loosening what clenched. I am softening what went rigid in survival. Yield to me now. Say yes to the rest I am releasing. Let your shoulders come down. Let your breath lengthen. Let the sentence I am writing become louder than the noise of dread. You are safe with me, and the road ahead is safer still, because I am already there. Stay with me through what follows. I have prepared words that will expose the lies that frightened you, reveal the love that has been working in your waiting, and guide you step by step into a season prepared for your peace. But start here. Consent to be calmed. Choose to be held. Whisper your small yes, and know that I receive it as worship. And if these words steady your heart, give that small yes a voice press, like as a simple agreement. Share this with the one you know is trembling tonight. And subscribe so you do not miss the next time I draw you close. This is your appointed moment, my child, and I am here, now, replacing fear with my nearness. Listen closely now, my child, for I am revealing the hinge on which your next chapter swings. Fear has been loud in your ears. It has shouted through headlines and memories and what-ifs. It has paced your rooms at night and drafted conclusions you quietly began to accept. But hear me. Fear is a voice, not a verdict. A noise, not a name. It can forecast storms it cannot command. It can draw maps it does not own. It can point to doors it did not build and threaten outcomes it cannot enforce. Fear shouted, but it never held the pen. I, the Lord your God, am the author of your future, the keeper of your days, the one who writes your story with wisdom that does not tremble and with love that does not run out. You have read sentences scribbled in haste across the margins of your mind, panicked paragraphs that tried to tell you who you are and what will happen to you, and you began to proofread your life with fear's red ink, circling imagined failures as if they were inevitable. But I am stepping in now with a higher authority. I am reclaiming authorship over your story. I am crossing out every sentence fear scribbled, every headline it stamped across your heart, every footnote of doom that tried to qualify your hope. I am erasing the edits that never came from me. I am restoring the original draft I breathed when I fashioned you in secret, when I called you by name, when I wrote peace into the architecture of your being. Do not mistake volume for power. Fear swells its voice to convince you it is sovereign, but it is only an echo. a mimic, a rumor that grows loud in empty rooms. It is not the judge, not the lawgiver, not the architect of time. It can dramatize possibilities, but it cannot decree your end. Only I decree, only my word stands. The winds and the waves do not answer to fear, they answer to me. The seasons do not turn by fear's calendar, they move by my timing. And the door before you will not open or close at the sound of fear's knock. It yields to my hand, and my hand is faithful. I have watched how fear tried to colonize your thoughts, how it posed as your advisor, how it fed you scripts that felt like safety, but were cages in disguise. It trained you to rehearse losses before they arrived, to count yourself out before you began, to numb your dreams, so disappointment would not sting. But I am your father, and I am here to retrain your heart. You will no longer calculate tomorrow by yesterday's pain. You will no longer make plans in the language of dread. You will hear a different cadence now, the rhythm of trust, the melody of a mind renewed, the steady drum of my peace laying tracks under your feet as you walk forward. Look at how fear has tried to sign your pages. Uncertain, unworthy, not enough, too late. Look at how it tried to add chapters that never belonged, always abandoned, forever behind, the one who loses. But I, who composed your life, am striking through those false labels with the bold line of truth. I write chosen where fear wrote rejected. I write carried where fear wrote alone. I write prepared where fear wrote unready. I write protected where fear wrote exposed. And I sign these words with my name, the name that cannot be forged, the signature that seals and settles all questions. You ask, but what if fear is right? What if I am destined to repeat old patterns? Hear me, patterns are not prisons when I enter the room. I do not simply edit sentences, I remake the context. I do not just correct grammar, I change the genre from tragedy to testimony. I do not merely soften the tone, I relocate you from the house of panic to the field of peace. Fear can only narrate from behind glass. It has never sat with me at the drafting table of your destiny. It never saw the chapters I already finished, the provisions I already placed downstream, the kindness I threaded through connections you have not met yet, the inner strength I am building as we speak. Fear is guessing, I am guiding. My child, you have given fear more authority than it ever owned, because you mistook attention for consent. But your attention is returning to me now, and with every breath that leans into my presence, you are taking back the high ground of your mind. Do not argue with fear, it thrives on debate. Bring it into my light. Let my voice be the verdict that settles the noise. When fear says, what if everything falls apart? Answer with what I say. Even if the earth shakes, I am your refuge, and I hold you together. When fear says, you will not make it, answer with what I have decreed. I am with you. You will see goodness in the land of the living. When fear says you are not enough, reply with the truth that I am more than enough within you. I am not asking you to pretend you never feel tremors. I am teaching you to recognize who holds the microphone. In this moment, I am turning down the volume of fear and amplifying the sound of my nearness. I am placing the pen firmly in your awareness, so you know whose hand has always guided it, mine. I am not improvising your future. I wrote it with wisdom, older than mountains, and mercy stronger than death. I do not panic when you pause or falter when you fear. I keep writing redemption into every line. What you call detour, I call detail. What you call disaster, I can reshape into depth. What fear paraded as final, I reveal as unfinished, because I am still at work. So rest, beloved. Let me cross out the headlines that make your chest tighten. Let me restore margins where your thoughts can breathe. Let me write peace as the first word of this new paragraph, and trust as the last sentence of this page. You are not at the mercy of forecasts that never consulted me. You are at the mercy of grace, and grace is not a storm. Grace is a steadying hand. Agree with me now. Fear does not author your future, I do. Say it with me in your heart. Let your agreement be the ink that dries as I turn the page. My child, lean closer, for I am speaking into the quiet places you have guarded for so long. I saw the nights you hid your tears. I saw the way you turned your face to the pillow so no one would hear, the way you ran the faucet to cover the sound, the way you clenched your jaw until the wave passed and you could smile again by morning. I know the nights when sleep would not come, when your eyes burned at 3 a.m. a.m., and you stared into the dark counting worries instead of sheep. When the same memory replayed like a loop you could not stop, when you whispered, "Help," and the word dissolved into your breath. Nothing about your ache has been invisible to me. I have been present in every unspoken groan, every fragile breath that tried to carry more than it could hold. I heard the prayers that never fully formed because exhaustion took your voice. I listened when you did not have sentences, when your heart only knew how to sigh. I heard the pause before a broken "why," and I did not shame you for it. I gathered the fragments of your thoughts when they scattered like leaves in a storm. I translated tears into petitions. I received the quiver of your chest as worship. I am not the one who demands polished speeches. I am the one who bends close to catch the syllables you can barely bear to say. You thought you failed me because you could not finish a prayer, but I finished it for you with my love and answered with my nearness. You have carried what you were never meant to carry alone. You tied ropes around your soul and dragged the weight of everyone's expectations, the weight of appearance, the weight of your own relentless inner critic. You packed your days with responsibilities and then tucked your pain into corners so no one would trip over it. You have been the fixer, the strong one, the reliable one, the one who laughs it off and says, "I'm fine," when your chest feels like a locked room. Hear me. You were not made to be your own savior. You were not made to mother your fears or father your regrets alone. The bag is too heavy not because you are weak, but because it was never designed to be carried without me. I have been near in every silent ache. I stood with you in the hallway outside the hospital room where you pressed your forehead to the wall and braced yourself. I sat with you in the parked car where you let yourself cry before walking back into a house that needed you. I was with you on the edge of your bed when the voice in your head demanded answers you did not have. I saw you pause in the grocery aisle because a song stirred a memory and you swallowed the lump in your throat. I shared that small table where you pretended to scroll while your heart tried to steady itself after another invisible blow. I have not missed a single tremor. Listen to me now. I am here to lift what has lived in the shadows. I am not here to tell you to try harder. I am not here to demand that you hide more skillfully. I am here to take the weight from your shoulders and set it on mine. Hand me the armful of what-ifs you gather each evening. Surrender the boxes labeled "for later" that you have hidden under the bed of your heart. Place in my hands the names you have called yourself in the mirror when no one was watching. Put down the ledger where you tally every perceived failure. I know exactly how heavy it is, and I am not intimidated. I am strong enough for your real, not just your rehearsed. Your tears do not offend me. They are not evidence of failure. They are the river that runs from the spring of your honest heart, and I sanctify that river. If you could see how I honor your vulnerability, you would never call your softness a flaw again. I am breaking the lie that says emotion disqualifies you from strength. My strength is not a mask you wear. It is a hand that holds you while you tell the truth. Let me unfasten the armor you strapped on in panic. Let me loosen the knots you tied around your own heart to keep it from feeling. Those knots have cut into your identity long enough. I am the one who untangles. Feel how I am calming the quake underneath your ribs. The room may still look the same, but the atmosphere has shifted because I am awakening trust inside you. Breathe with me in this moment. With every inhale, receive the certainty that you are seen. With every exhale, release the story that you must manage me by staying composed. I do not require your composure. I desire your permission to comfort you. You can let your shoulders fall. You can let your guard lower. You are safe to be held. I was never absent on the nights you were sure no one noticed. Angels stood watch when you thought the darkness had the last word. My hand kept your heart from breaking beyond mending. That you are here, listening, is not chance. It is proof that preservation has been at work. I covered you when words failed you. I quieted panic you did not recognize as panic. I drew you back from edges you did not know you were approaching. I have been faithful in secret. Now I am making that faithfulness known. Bring me the specific burdens you dare to name, the fear of making the wrong choice, the grief you avoided because it felt too big, the disappointment that glued itself to your confidence, the responsibility that swallows your evenings and your sleep, the private regret that calls itself your identity. Lay them in my hands, one by one, or all at once. I am not counting your mess. I am carrying you through it. I am not timing your tears. I am teaching them to water new peace instead of new panic. Say in your heart, even if the words feel small, I give you what I hid. I hear you. I give you the moments I pretended not to feel. I receive them. I give you the whispers I never finished. I am finishing them with mercy. I give you the heaviness I thought I had to earn the right to release. I honor that release. Your agreement, even whispered, opens doors nothing else could. Your permission is the key I wait for, because I never force tenderness. I invite it. And now, as you consent, I am lifting the pressure that has been sitting on your chest like a stone. I am easing the tightness that wrapped around your thoughts when the sun went down. I am inviting sleep to find you again, not as escape, but as restoration. When tears come in the days ahead, they will be different. They will rinse, not drown. They will cleanse, not accuse. You will feel the difference between the wave that drags and the wave that carries. This is not a fragile promise. This is my nature with you. Do not fear what this honesty will uncover, because I will be the one to uncover it with you. I am gentle with the tender places and firm with the lies that camped around them. I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. I am lifting labels, lightening loads, and placing my peace where dread used to settle. This is how your story turns, not by pretending you never ached, but by letting me be the one who saw, who stayed, and who now carries you forward. Stay with me, beloved. We will expose what named you falsely, and you will discover how free you feel when the one who knows everything you hid holds you without letting go. Listen, my child, and do not look away, because I am moving from comfort to correction, not to shame you, but to free you. The pain you carried was real, and I honored every tear. Now I am turning the light toward the words that wrapped themselves around that pain and tried to become your name. Fear did not only shout at you, it stitched sentences into your soul when you were tired, when you were lonely, when you were waiting for answers that seemed slow. It sewed in phrases like hidden tags under the collar of your heart. You are not safe. You are behind. You are alone. You felt those edges scratching at you all day, and you thought the scratch was you. Hear me, the scratch is not you. The label is not you. The wound was real, but the wound is not your identity. I send my scissors into every seam, cutting away labels not authored by me. I place my hand under the threads where fear looped itself through memory, where it stitched panic to your plans and insecurity to your reflections. I am snipping, carefully and completely, the knots that tried to tie your value to performance, your safety to control, your belonging to others' approval. I am steady, and I am skilled. I will not tear what is tender in you. I will only remove what never belonged. I do this now, in love's precision, because your season of carrying borrowed names is over. You are not safe, fear said, and you tightened your shoulders to live small, to anticipate loss before it came, to scan the horizon for danger instead of for gifts. But listen to what I say. You are hidden in me. My nearness is your safety. Safety is not the absence of threat. Safety is the presence of your Father, and I am here. I have surrounded you more thoroughly than any wall you could build with worry. I am fortifying you from within, peace as armor, wisdom as watchmen, angels as witnesses. Your nervous system learned the alarm, but I am teaching it the anthem. I am with you. Let your body relearn me. Let your breath agree. You are not safe, was a sentence fear forged in a fire I did not light. I quench it now. You are behind, fear said, and you measured your steps against a clock that did not come from heaven. You called delay a failure and patience a flaw. You watched milestones march past and wondered if time had decided against you. But hear my decree. You are not behind. You are being aligned. I am not late with you. I am exact with you. I do not misplace my children's seasons. What you called lost time, I have been converting into depth. What you called stagnation, I have been using as foundation. I turn your waiting into wisdom and your pauses into precision. I would rather you arrive prepared than arrive panicked. My calendar does not confess to comparison. It yields to calling. Behind is not a title I give. Becoming is. You are alone, fear said, and you stopped expecting comfort to find you. You practiced self-sufficiency until your heart grew sore from lifting what only love could carry. But I am here to contradict that lie with my presence and with the people I am sending. You have never been solitary to me. I walked with you into rooms where you felt unnoticed. I sat with you in cars where you wiped your face. I stood beside you in lines where you convinced yourself you didn't need anyone. Even when you convinced your mouth to say, "I'm fine," I did not agree. I am orchestrating connections that honor your soul, relationships that do not require you to shrink or perform. The lie of aloneness loses its power when you feel me holding you, and I am holding you now. There are other labels fear tried to press onto your skin like cheap tattoos: too much, too little, too late, too broken, too sensitive. I see where they smudged when your tears met them. I see the shadows they left in your posture. I am washing those shadows in my kindness. I am removing adhesive sentences that claimed authority without ever consulting me. I am rewriting the inner captions under your life. Where fear wrote unworthy, I inscribe beloved. Where fear wrote forgotten, I engrave chosen. Where fear wrote always almost, I announce appointed. Where fear wrote second place, I decree set apart. This is not motivational varnish. This is identity restored by the one who made you. Do not argue with the scissors in my hand. You have grown accustomed to certain labels because they gave you something predictable to call yourself when you were tired of trying to be brave. You learned to trace your outline by the cut of fear's garments. But I am tailoring you for freedom, and freedom is not baggy, it is exact. I am refitting your soul in truth that lays smoothly against who you truly are. I dress you in peace that does not chafe, in hope that does not ride up when pressure mounts, in joy that does not constrict when grief visits. I do not ask you to go naked into the world without definitions. I clothe you in mine. I am not erasing your history. I am interpreting it through love. The wound was real. The betrayal happened. The disappointment took air from your lungs. The break in your story left a bruise. But I refuse to let the injury be your introduction. You are not the one who was left. You are the one I lift. You are not the one who failed. You are the one I form. You are not the anxious one. You are the carried one learning courage. Feel the turn even now. The wound becomes a place where my light enters, not a sign on your forehead that dictates who you are. When you let me see you, I heal you. When you let me name you, you learn to recognize yourself. Listen to me say your true name slowly, so they can settle where panic used to perch. Loved, chosen, held, protected, prepared, provided for, purposed. Whole in the making. These are not aspirational. They are declarational. They are not contingent on your flawless performance. They are anchored in my faithful nature. I do not change the label when your day is heavy. I carry you until you believe it again. I do not withdraw identity to motivate obedience. I secure identity to empower trust. Now, breathe with me. With your inhale, receive this. I am not named by fear. With your exhale, release this. I agree with what you call me. Whisper it if you must. Shout it if you can. Let it be a quiet river through your day. When the old tags itch, do not scratch until you bleed. Bring that itch to me and watch how I soothe it with presence. When the mirror tries to reflect yesterday's rumor, hold it up to my word until it behaves. When people who met you in an earlier chapter try to speak that version of you into this one, honor them with kindness, but honor me with truth. You are not obligated to wear garments I did not give you. I am removing every lie that tried to name you. I am patient with the places where glue remains. I will peel again tomorrow if needed, and the next day until the last corner lifts. My love is not in a hurry, but it is relentless. I will not stop until you walk freely in the name you carry from my heart. Stay here with me in this knowing. You are loved and you are chosen. Your safety is my nearness. Your timing is my timing. Your company is my presence, and those I appoint. Let this reversal stand in you like a newly anchored pillar. From this pillar, we will build the next rooms of peace. My child, stay close and listen with your whole heart, because I am speaking into the place where the path dips low and the light grows thin. I am with you in the valley, not watching from a high hill, not calling instructions from a distance, not timing you with impatience. I walk beside you. I match your breathing. I keep cadence with your steps, so that when your stride shortens, I do not shame you. I steady you. My rod and my staff cradle your balance. They are not weapons against you, but comfort for you. One to fend off what prowls, the other to pull you gently back when panic angles you toward the edge. When shadows grow long and your imagination starts running ahead with a lantern of worst-case stories, I lift my voice, and the shadows remember they are only shadows. Do not believe that the valley is evidence of my absence. The presence of steep walls does not mean the absence of me. It only means I have chosen to guide you through a place where trust is formed like iron and peace becomes more than a concept. Hear me rewrite the room you are in. This is not a trap. This is a passage. This is not punishment. This is a protected corridor where my nearness becomes your safety again. Even here, I set a table before you. Yes. Here, where fear thought it had the loudest seat at the head, I lay out bread that tastes like calm and wine that warms like courage. I spread a feast of promises, and I do not rush you while you eat. I anoint your head with oil so the lies that tried to cling slide right off, and I fill your cup until it contradicts the scarcity that tried to ration your hope. Those who mocked you, the thoughts that accused you, the memories that tried to steal your appetite, let them watch while you are fed. They cannot take what I hand you. I know how the valley tries to train your body to brace, how your shoulders rise without permission, how your chest holds its breath and calls it endurance. Let me teach your very heartbeat a different rhythm. Breathe with me the way you did a moment ago. Inhale, you are with me. Exhale, I am safe in your nearness. This is not theory. This is the way your nervous system learns me. This is how courage returns, not as a crash of lightning, but as the steady light of my presence settling into the room where your thoughts have been pacing. I am not an idea at the edge of your life. I am the shelter that wraps you from the inside out. I am the warmth in the cold hour. I am the hand beneath your elbow when your knees feel unsure. I am the quiet weight against your spinning mind that tells it, you can stop now, I've got you. When the news on your phone trembles your hope, when the doctor's words rehearse themselves in your head at midnight, when the bill arrives with numbers that talk louder than truth, do not negotiate with fear. Turn your face toward me and say in your own words or mine, you are here. Do not try to predict the entire path. Bring me the next step. Let my staff tap against the stones in front of you so you know where to place your foot. Let my rod answer the growl you thought you had to handle alone. I have walked every kind of valley with every kind of child, and I have not lost one who let me lead. I am the same with you now. You wonder, how do I know it is you and not just my wish? Feel how peace gathers like a mantle around your shoulders when you acknowledge me, that is, my fingerprint. Notice how shame loosens, how your breath lengthens, how the need to perform lifts the room within you is rearranging because my presence has entered like order after chaos. Agreement with me builds a shelter faster than panic can dismantle it. Let that shelter stand. Do not apologize for resting inside it, not to yourself and not to anyone who does not understand how hard you have fought to find this quiet. I am not moving you through the valley to prove your toughness. I am moving you through to prove my faithfulness. There will be moments when I stop you beside a stream so still you will think time paused. This is where I restore your soul. There will be moments when the path narrows and you fear you cannot pass. This is where I draw you closer so you can feel my robe brush your arm and know the distance between us is gone. There will be moments when you are tempted to eat, hurry, and drink dread. That is why the table stands. Eat what I place before you. Eat courage, eat rest, eat the laughter you thought you had outgrown. Learn to be nourished where fear swore you could only starve. I have placed signs of my nearness all along this valley, not tricks to test you, but anchors to keep you. A friend who texts the right sentence without knowing why. A memory that returns, not to accuse, but to show you how far you've come. A song that meets you in the kitchen and loosens a knot you could not reach. A sudden calm when you whisper, my name. These are not coincidences. They are crumbs on the path to remind your heart that the shepherd is near. Lift your eyes. You are not surrounded by walls. You are surrounded by me. Do not rush the walk to prove you can outrun fear. Fear is not setting the pace. I am. Take the next faithful step. Pause when I pause. Sit when I seat you. Eat when I hand you bread. Speak when I give you words. Your obedience will not earn my nearness. It will let you enjoy it. The valley will not swallow you. The shadows will not write your ending. Goodness and mercy have not lost your trail. They are tracking you even now, and they will accompany you out as surely as I lead you through. My beloved, hold this in your chest like fire that will not go out. My nearness is your safety. I am with you now. Not after the diagnosis changes, not after the account fills, not after the conversation resolves. Now. And because I am here, you can unclench your hands. You can taste hope again without fear dictating the portion. You can sleep without bargaining with tomorrow. You can walk without rehearsing disaster. You can breathe and believe that this valley is becoming a testimony. Because I, who am faithful, am escorting you through it. Stay with me. Let your agreement with my presence be the path under your feet and the courage in your next breath. My child, stay with me and listen closely, because I am turning your face toward the calendar you have argued with in your heart. The weight has worn grooves in your thoughts, and fear tried to use those grooves to write a verdict. You were passed over. Hear me now, every delay in your life has been a deliberate act of love, not neglect. I have not been careless with your time. I have not been inattentive to your ache. I have not stood back while opportunities drifted by like boats you were too slow to catch. I, who order galaxies and count your breaths, have ordered your steps. I chose the pace on purpose, not to punish you, but to prepare you. You have called it delay because you could not see what I was arranging behind curtains you could not pull back. I slowed the moment, not because you were unworthy, but because the road ahead needed clearing. I held a door closed, not because I wanted you left outside, but because there were traps laid in the hallway that you would have stumbled into at a faster speed. I withheld a spotlight, not because you were too small, but because applause can become a cage if roots are shallow. And I love you too much to exchange your freedom for a round of clapping. I let a conversation reschedule, because timing turns words into bridges instead of bruises. I placed you beside quiet waters while you asked for rushing rivers, because I was restoring your soul so you could stand when the river finally rose. Waiting has not been punishment, it has been protection. Protection from alliances that would have drained you dry. Protection from responsibilities that would have crushed you before stamina had finished forming. Protection from premature promotion that would have magnified pain instead of purpose. I have watched over your beginnings so your endings would not collapse. I have hidden you as a seed is hidden, not discarded, but planted. Seeds do not accuse the soil of neglect. They surrender to the dark because something holy is happening in what looks like nothing. I have wrapped you in seasons that looked like slow and named them sacred. Waiting has not been rejection, it has been alignment. I have been aligning people and places and provision and even your own inner rhythms with my intention. I have been drawing relationships toward you that do not require you to contort. I have been opening spaces that fit your calling like a key fits a lock, not a shoe. 2 sizes too small that you try to walk in simply because it is available. Alignment takes time, like the way the sun meets the horizon, not a moment before and not a moment after, because beauty requires precision. Do not confuse my precision with indifference. I am exact with you, my beloved. I am the father who refuses to deliver you to a moment that cannot hold you. Waiting has been capacity building. You asked me to trust you with more peace, more influence, more responsibility, more joy. I said, yes, and then I loved you enough to strengthen the vessel before I filled it. I have been lengthening your patience so it can carry joy without spilling. I have been fortifying your yes so it will not collapse under the weight of what that yes invites. I have been healing tiny hairline fractures in identity so they do not become fault lines under pressure. I have been teaching your body to recognize peace as home so that when acceleration comes, you do not mistake momentum for danger and sabotage what I am giving. I have been practicing you in small obediences so your reflex becomes trust, not panic, when larger steps arrive. You asked me to remove fear's sentences, and I have been doing that in the waiting. I have used quiet to loosen the knots of comparison. I have used pauses to uncurl your grip from timelines that never came from heaven. I have used the felt absence of instant answers to teach your heart to hear my whisper rather than chase echoes. I have allowed you to feel the discomfort of unanswered questions, not to starve you, but to starve the addiction to needing to know before you choose to trust. What I am preparing requires a heart held steady by my presence more than by your predictions. The wait has been love at work, crafting readiness inside you. Consider how bread rises. It looks like nothing is happening beneath the cloth, but chemistry and care are reforming what was flat into what can be shared. Consider how arrows are drawn back, further than feels comfortable, not to deny flight but to empower it. Consider how fire hardens clay into vessels that do not leak. These are not metaphors I toss at you to soothe frustration. They are windows into the ways I have been working the unseen edges of your capacity. Not a moment before and not a moment after, this has been my rhythm over you, preserving the gift and preserving your heart, because I want you to enjoy what I give you, not merely survive it. I know the days when you watched others move ahead and called yourself behind. I do not call you behind, I call you becoming. I know the interviews that ended with silence, the applications that went unread, the relationships that did not deepen, the doors that stayed still under your knocking. You thought I was unmoved. I was guarding you. There were rooms where your tenderness would have been traded for performance. Corridors where your peace would have been taxed to pay for someone else's chaos. Platforms that would have fed your old labels instead of your true name. I do not shepherd my children into wolves' mouths and call it opportunity. I time entrances so that goodness and mercy arrive with you. Hear me clearly. I have never been late to you. The hour that felt like silence was the hour I bent low to tie your laces so you would not stumble at the first step. The season that felt like fog was the season I taught you to hold my hand rather than your map. The weeks that felt like detour were the weeks I delivered you from a cliff you could not see. If I had answered when you wanted, you would have misread the blessing as proof you must perform to keep it. If I had hurried what asked to ripen, you would have confused novelty for newness and your joy would have been thin. I am sparing you thin joy. I am building a table that will not wobble, and I am seating you at it when the legs are ready. Do not rehearse regret, rehearse trust. When the voice of too late rises, answer it with, your timing preserves me. When the itch to force an opening burns, sit with me at the table I set, and let hunger train your palate for what is real. Rest your forehead against my chest, and listen to the clock that beats in me. Steady, sovereign, set to love. Your calendar can be holy when it agrees with mine. You are not missing your life in the waiting. You are meeting me in it, and I am making you ready. There is an opening I have prepared, and you will not need to kick at it. You will know it because peace will meet you at the threshold, and your shoulders will not rise to reach for it. You will not need to beg to belong to what I am sending. It will recognize you because I have spent this season making you recognizable to my will. Not a moment before, and not a moment after. I am faithful to this cadence. Keep breathing with me. Keep choosing the small obediences that fit in your hands today. Keep letting me call this season what it truly is. Love at work. When you step, you will not step as the panicked one chasing a leaving train. You will step as the carried child, arriving on time because your father brought you. My child, you have arrived at a sacred crossing point, and I need you to recognize it while your hands are still trembling and your thoughts are still trying to run ahead. This is not just another moment in your day. This is a doorway in your spirit. You have stood in the hallway of almost for so long that you began to think it was your address. You have lived with the door of striving propped open, letting it draft cold air into your soul, letting it teach your body to brace, letting it make worry feel like responsibility. But I am telling you now, listen closely. The door of striving is closing, not because I am taking something from you, but because I am giving you something you have not been able to receive while you kept one foot in panic. The door of rest is opening. The door of trust is opening. The door of calm courage is opening. And it is opening for you, not for the version of you who can finally control everything, but for the version of you who will finally let me carry what you were never designed to carry alone. Fear has decorated its room to make it feel familiar. It hung pictures of past disappointments on the wall and called them wisdom. It placed a chair in the corner named What If, and invited you to sit there until your legs forgot how to move. It kept a clock on the shelf that only counts what you lack, and it trained you to stare at it like it was a god. You learned the furniture of that room. You learned where the sharp edges are, and you became skilled at living small so you would not hit them. But familiarity is not safety, my beloved. That room has been stealing your breath 1 minute at a time, and I have not brought you this far to let fear keep you as a tenant. This is the moment I am escorting you to the threshold, and I am saying, enough, come out. There is a door in front of you that fear insisted was welded shut. It told you, that will never open for you. It told you, that chance is for other people. It told you, you missed it. It told you, if you touch that handle you will be embarrassed again, disappointed again, hurt again, and you believed fear because it spoke in the accent of your past. But hear me, I unlocked that door, not with your perfection, not with your constant calculating, not with your exhausted proving. I unlocked it with my authority and my timing and my love. What fear called sealed, I call open. What fear called impossible, I call prepared. What fear called delayed, beyond repair, I call ready. And I am not asking you to sprint through it with panic, as if the door might change its mind. I am asking you to reach for the handle with trust, because what I open does not slam shut on my child's fingers. Do not stand here and analyze the threshold until you talk yourself back into the room that has already harmed you. Do not keep rehearsing the old story of I should have done it sooner, or I don't know enough, or what if I fail again, because those are not questions. Those are chains, trying to sound like caution. My child, this cannot wait another moment, not because I am threatening you, but because fear feeds on delay. Fear loves tomorrow because tomorrow is where it can keep you endlessly preparing and never arriving. Fear loves later because later feels responsible while it quietly robs you of peace. But I am calling you into now. Now is where my grace is. Now is where my hand is extended. Now is where the air changes. Now is where the atmosphere within you can finally shift, because you stop agreeing with panic and start agreeing with me. Your yes in this moment is not a performance. It is a surrender. Your yes is the key turning in the lock of your own heart. Your yes is you stepping out of the room where you have been bracing and into the space where you are being held. And I know, my beloved, part of you is afraid to say yes because you have said yes before and you were disappointed, you were let down, you were left to clean up the aftermath alone. I saw that. I saw the way you promised yourself you would not hope so loudly again. I saw the way you made caution your blanket at night because disappointment felt like a winter that came without warning. But I am not like those who left you. I do not lure you to thresholds to abandon you on the other side. I stand in the doorway with you, and I put my hand over yours, and I teach your fingers how to open what love has provided. Step out of fear's room, my child. Step out of the habit of scanning the horizon for disaster. Step out of the reflex of tightening your shoulders before anything even happens. Step out of the exhausting worship of what if. You do not have to drag fear with you as proof you are being realistic. You do not have to bring panic as a companion so you feel prepared. Peace is not naive. Peace is obedient when it comes from me. Rest is not laziness. Rest is trust made visible. I am not calling you to ignore wisdom. I am calling you to stop calling worry wisdom. I am not calling you to deny reality. I am calling you to deny fear the right to interpret it. As you stand here, feel what is happening in you even as you listen. Your spirit is leaning toward freedom, and fear is trying to pull you back by the sleeve. Do not let it. Say yes under your breath if that is all you can manage. Say, yes, Lord. Say, I choose rest. Say, I step with you. Let that yes be small enough to fit in your mouth and strong enough to move the atmosphere in your chest. Because when you choose me at the threshold, something shifts inside you first. The room gets quieter. The thoughts lose their microphone. The old alarms begin to dim, and your heart remembers what it feels like to be led instead of chased. I am not asking you to see the entire path beyond the door. I am asking you to trust the one who opened it. Put your hand on the handle, and do not grip it like you are about to fight. Hold it like you are about to be helped. Take the step you have been postponing, not in frantic striving, but in surrendered agreement. This is the doorway where you stop living as the captive of fear and begin living as the carried child. And as you cross, you will discover what fear never told you. The air on the other side is lighter, not because life has no challenges, but because you are no longer breathing through the cloth of panic. Come now, step out. I am here, and I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. Now that you have stepped, my child, do not rush past the way I designed you. I did not create you as a mind floating above a body, and I did not ask you to trust me in theory while your chest still clenches like an alarm. I am gentle with the places where fear has trained your nerves, and I am wise enough to heal you from the inside out. So listen closely, because I am giving you a strategy small enough to use in the middle of the moment when the text message pings, when the memory flashes, when the night grows loud, when your thoughts begin to stampede. I am giving you a doorway that fits inside your ribs. I am giving you a prayer you can breathe. Breathe with me, my beloved, not as a ritual to perform, but as a return to presence, not as a trick to control me, but as a way to stop being controlled by fear. Let your breath become a holy agreement, because panic cannot keep shouting at the same volume when you stop feeding it oxygen through rushing and bracing. I am not far from your lungs. I am not distant from the rhythm of your heart. I am here, and I will meet you in something as simple as air. Inhale slowly, and as you draw breath in, let your soul whisper, "You are with me." Not someday, not when it all makes sense, not when everything is fixed. Now, you are with me. Feel how that sentence steadies you like a hand under your chin, lifting your face out of the spiral. And then exhale, "My child," and as the air leaves you, release what you have been gripping as if fear were your job. Exhale and say, "I release fear." Not because you have mastered everything, but because you have decided who you belong to. Inhale, "You are with me." Exhale, "I release fear." Again, again, again. Let the rhythm train your inner world to recognize mine. You have learned to inhale worry before anything even happens. You have learned to hold your breath when you anticipate disappointment. You have learned to breathe shallow when you feel unseen, as if taking up less space might protect you from pain. But I am teaching you to breathe like a child who is safe. I am teaching you to breathe like someone who is not abandoned. I am teaching you to breathe like a son, like a daughter, carried and kept. Because your breath is not just biology, it is a gate. And I am telling you the truth you need to hear. Your breath can become a doorway where fear exits and my peace enters. When fear surges, when it rises like heat in your throat, when your chest tightens, when your hands go cold and your thoughts start racing as if they are trying to outrun something, do not shame yourself for feeling it. Do not call yourself weak. Do not accuse your progress. This is simply the old alarm trying to reclaim its microphone. And in that moment, I do not ask you to win a debate in your head. I ask you to come to me in your body. Place a hand on your chest, right where you feel the pounding, right where you feel the flutter, right where you feel the pressure, and say, "Abba, I am not alone." Say it again, not as a slogan, but as a lifeline. "Abba, I am not alone. My child, heaven leans close when you do." The distance fear promised you is a lie. The isolation it painted is a mirage. When you whisper, "Abba," you are not speaking into a ceiling. You are turning your face toward a father who is already bending toward you. And as you hold your chest, you are not trying to hold yourself together. You are letting me hold you together. You are letting your body hear what your spirit knows. You are not alone in this moment, not alone in this decision, not alone in this season, not alone in this healing. I know fear has made you believe that if you calm down, you will miss something, fail to prevent something, be caught off guard. But listen to me. Peace is not negligence. Peace is clarity. Peace is how you hear my instructions. Peace is how you recognize the next right step without tripping over 10 imagined disasters. Fear rushes you because it wants you breathless. I slow you because I want you free. When you breathe with me, you are not losing time. You are reclaiming it. You are not ignoring reality. You are refusing panic's interpretation of it. You are letting my presence speak louder than your adrenaline. So practice this, my beloved, in ordinary places. Practice it at the sink. Practice it in the car. Practice it before you open the email. Practice it before you enter the room where you feel judged. Practice it when the night tries to replay old scenes. Inhale, "You are with me." Exhale, "I release fear." And if all you can manage is a trembling breath and a whisper, that is enough to begin. Small doors open into large rooms. Small obediences become strong foundations. One honest breath can interrupt a spiral that has dominated you for years, because it is not the size of the breath, it is the direction of the heart. And now I am asking you for a public agreement, not because I need proof, but because your soul needs a marker. Fear has made private contracts with you in silence. It has whispered vows you never meant to sign. I will always be anxious. I will always be behind. I will always be unsafe. I will always be waiting for the worst. Today you break that pattern with a simple declaration. Write it where you can see it, where your own eyes must witness your new allegiance. Write in the comments, "Fear is not my future." Let it be a banner over your next steps. Let it be a line in the sand. Let it be your yes made visible. Do not underestimate what happens when you agree with me out loud. The atmosphere shifts when you stop partnering with dread. Your mind begins to learn a new language when you keep speaking truth. Your body begins to soften when it realizes it no longer has to be the guard at the gate of tomorrow. And I will meet you every time you return to this breath, Every time you put your hand on your chest and say, Abba, I am not alone. Every time you inhale my nearness and exhale fear's claim. I am patient as you practice. I am steady as you learn. I am present as you breathe. Breathe with me now, my child, and feel it, how the room inside you gets quieter, how the panic loses its edge, how your heartbeat begins to remember it was created for worship, not for war. Inhale, you are with me. Exhale, I release fear. This is not just a moment of calm. This is training for your next season. This is a new reflex. This is the doorway, again and again, where fear leaves and my peace enters, until peace feels familiar and fear feels strange. And you realize you are not returning to who you were. You are becoming who I have been protecting all along. Now, my child, stay right here with me, because after the breath comes the language, and what you keep saying inside yourself will either reopen the door to fear's room or seal it shut with truth. I have given you a doorway in your lungs, but I am also giving you a doorway in your thoughts, because fear does not only rush your body, it writes sentences in your mind. It narrates your future with the ink of old pain. It edits your identity with the grammar of shame. It speaks quickly so you will think it is wisdom. And if you do not answer it, you will begin to treat its voice like it is your own. Listen closely. You are not required to believe every thought that arrives. You are not obligated to host every sentence. Fear drops at your feet. A thought can knock, but it does not have to move in. A feeling can rise, but it does not have to rule. Fear has been speaking to you like a playwright, handing you lines in the middle of your day, lines you never agreed to, lines that make you smaller, lines that make you brace, lines that make you apologize for existing. And I am telling you now, with tenderness and authority, you will not be led by fear's script anymore. You will answer it. You will interrupt it. You will replace it, sentence by sentence, until your mind learns a new language. Because fear has phrases it loves, doesn't it? It waits for quiet moments, for late nights, for early mornings, for the second you try again, and it leans in and says, you will fail. It says it with confidence, as if it has been to tomorrow. It says it as if one past disappointment gave it the right to predict your entire life. It says, you will fail, and your stomach tightens, and your shoulders lift, and your heart starts preparing for a funeral that has not been scheduled. But I am with you right there, and I am giving you my words as your answer. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. Not, you will uphold yourself if you perform perfectly. Not, you will be fine if you never feel afraid again. No, I will uphold you. My hand does not tremble. My grip does not slip. My strength does not depend on your mood. And when you answer fear with that promise, you are not denying the challenge. You are declaring who will hold you inside it. So when fear says, you will fail, you answer, the Lord will uphold me with his righteous hand. Say it again, my child, until your mind stops treating fear like a prophet. Say it until your thoughts remember they have a shepherd. Say it until your inner world stops assuming you are alone with your weakness. You have rehearsed worst-case scenarios for years. Now you will rehearse my faithfulness. You will build new grooves, holy grooves, where your mind runs to me first instead of running to catastrophe. And fear has another line, one it whispers when you finally start to rest. When you finally start to breathe, when you finally stop scanning the horizon, it tries to scare you out of peace by saying, you are not protected. It points to what happened before. It points to what someone did. It points to what you didn't see coming. It points to the moment you were hurt and no one seemed to stop it. And it says, if you relax, something will get you. If you stop worrying, you will be blindsided. If you trust, you will be foolish. My beloved, hear me. Worry is not your shield. Anxiety is not your security system. Panic is not your protection. I am. So answer fear with my words. I am your refuge and fortress. Not a flimsy shelter you have to rebuild every time the wind rises. Not a hiding place that collapses under pressure. I am your refuge, meaning you can run to me without shame. I am your fortress, meaning what comes against you does not have the final word over you. And when you say, you are my refuge and my fortress, you are not just speaking poetry. You are repositioning your soul. You are moving from self-defense into divine covering. You are trading the exhausting job of trying to foresee every danger for the holy rest of being kept by the one who sees it all. Some of you have been living like sentries at the gate, never sleeping deeply, never relaxing fully, always listening for the next threat, and I know why. I saw what happened when you let your guard down before. I saw the betrayal you didn't expect. I saw the loss you couldn't prevent. I saw the way your nervous system learned to stay on duty because your heart was trying to make sure you never felt that powerless again. But my child, I am not asking you to be careless. I am asking you to come under my care. Let me protect you in ways your worry never could. Let me cover you where your vigilance has only bruised you. Let my presence become the wall around your peace. And then there is the sentence fear uses to grind you down slowly, the one it repeats like a clock ticking in the background. You are behind in life, behind in healing, behind in finances, behind in calling, behind in relationships, behind in the invisible race you never agreed to run. It looks at someone else's highlight and uses it as a ruler against your progress. It looks at your age, your timeline, your detours, your delays, and it labels you late. And because you have heard it so long, you started measuring yourself with fear's mathematics, always subtracting, always lacking, always rushing, always regretting. But I am correcting that lie with a promise that will steady you. I make all things beautiful in their time. My child, time is not your enemy when I am the author. Seasons are not proof you are failing. They are proof you are being formed. You are not behind, you are in my timing. And my timing is not random. It is precise. It is kind. It is protective. It is purposeful. When you answer fear's behind with my beautiful, you stop treating your life like a mistake and start treating it like a story I am finishing with care. So this is how you live now, my beloved. You do not let fear speak and then go silent as if you agree. You answer. You answer out loud if you can. You answer in a whisper if you must. You answer in the car, in the kitchen, in the hallway before you walk into the hard conversation, in the night when the old memories try to climb back into bed with you. When fear says, you will fail, you answer, he will uphold me with his righteous hand. When fear says, you are not protected, you answer, he is my refuge and my fortress. When fear says, you are behind, you answer, he makes all things beautiful in their time. Do you see what is happening, my child? This is not positive thinking. This is not pretending. This is alignment. This is you taking your mind by the hand and bringing it back to me again and again and again, the way a loving parent guides a frightened child back to safety. At first it will feel like work, because fear has had years of practice. But you will practice too. You will practice my promises until they become your first language, until your thoughts stop defaulting to dread, until your inner narrator sounds more like heaven than like your history. And I will help you. I am not standing far away, grading your performance. I am right here, strengthening you while you learn. I am right here, reminding you when you forget. I am right here, putting my words in your mouth when your own words feel too small. Do not wait until you feel fearless to speak faith. Speak my truth while your hands tremble, and watch how your trembling becomes testimony. Replace fear sentences with my promises until your mind learns a new language and peace no longer feels like a visitor, but like home. Now, my child, because you have begun to answer fear with my words, the surface will grow quieter, and in that quiet, you may start to notice what you have been outrunning. Do not be afraid of that. Many of you have lived with noise on purpose, not because you love chaos, but because silence has a way of opening the door to what still aches. And I have watched you keep busy, keep scrolling, keep planning, keep performing, keep smiling, because you were trying to stay ahead of the memory that waits in the back room of your heart. But listen to me. You do not have to run from what still hurts. You do not have to avoid the very places you need me most. I did not bring you to peace just to give you a quiet place to hide your pain. I brought you to peace so you could finally let me touch it. There is a room you avoid, isn't there? A moment you don't like to name. A conversation you replay and then quickly shut down. A betrayal you try to minimize because it feels safer to call it not that bad than to admit it left a mark. There is a loss you swallowed without ceremony, a rejection you laughed off, an abandonment you explained away because you had to keep going and no one gave you space to fall apart. I saw it. I saw the way you dried your tears before anyone could notice. I saw the way you trained your voice to sound fine while something inside you was shaking. I saw the way you told yourself, it's over now, while your body kept living as if it could happen again at any second. and I am not coming to shame you for that survival. I am coming to heal you beyond survival. So I am asking you, gently but clearly, stop locking me out of the room you avoid. You have invited me into your worship. You have invited me into your plans. You have invited me into your emergencies. But there are places inside you where you still whisper, "Not there, Lord, not that story, not that part." And you think you are protecting yourself by keeping the door shut, but the wound does not heal in the dark. My child, I heal what you let me see. Not because I need information, for I already know, but because you need permission to stop hiding. When you let me in, you stop carrying that pain alone, and that is where the strength begins to return to you. Come with me now, slowly, not as a punishment, not as a replay meant to torment you, but as a revisiting with safety, with covering, with my hand on your shoulder and my peace around your mind. I am not asking you to relive it as if you are still trapped in it. I am asking you to remember it with me in it, because the enemy has used that wound like a lens, making everything look dangerous, making love feel unreliable, making tomorrow feel like a threat. But I am the God who steps into wounds and pulls out lies by the root. I am the God who does not just tell you to move on. I teach your soul how to be whole. And I will not rush you, my beloved. I will not yank you forward and call it healing. I will walk with you, because the pace of genuine healing is the pace of genuine transformation. And I am not interested in a quick mask. I am committed to a true restoration. And I know what rises when you approach that room. Anger that surprises you, grief that feels too big, fear that says, "If I open this, I will drown." Listen to me, your feelings are not your enemy. They have been messengers standing at the gate of a wound saying, "Something here still needs care. Do not punish yourself for what you feel. Bring it to me. Let me hold the anger without letting it become poison. Let me hold the grief without letting it become a grave. Let me hold the fear without letting it become your identity. You were never meant to be your own counselor in the midnight hours. You were never meant to stitch yourself up with numbness and call it strength. My strength is available to you, and it is gentle enough to touch what is tender. Now hear me on this, my child, because this is where many of you stay chained. Bitterness has felt like protection, but it has been a chain. It has told you, if you stay angry, you will stay safe. It has told you, if you keep the account open, you will never be fooled again. It has told you, if you refuse to forgive, you are still in control. But bitterness does not punish the one who hurt you. It holds you in yesterday with a tight fist, and I did not design you to live in yesterday. I have tomorrow prepared for you. I have peace prepared for you. I have joy that is not naive, trust that is not fragile, love that is not dependent on others behaving perfectly. So I am calling you to release the bitterness, not to excuse what was done, not to pretend it didn't matter, not to invite harm back into your life, but to let your soul step out of that prison. Forgiveness, my beloved, is not surrender to abuse. It is not calling evil good. It is not removing wisdom. It is release into freedom. It is you taking the keys out of the offender's hand and placing them in mine. It is you saying, "This will not have the right to poison my future." Some of you have been afraid that if you forgive, the pain becomes meaningless. But I am telling you, when you forgive with me, the pain does not become smaller, it becomes redeemed. It becomes a place where my healing is written. It becomes a scar that testifies that you were wounded, yes, but you were also restored, and restoration is louder than injury. So let me do this with you, right now, in the quiet of your own heart. Whisper their name if you can, whisper the moment if you need to, and then whisper my name over it. Bring me the scene. Bring me the words that were said. Bring me the way you felt when no one defended you, when no one understood you, when you had to be strong because the world did not pause, and let me stand in it with you. Let me speak truth into the places where you believed lies. Let me untangle your nervous system from the alarm it learned. Let me take the shame you carried for what someone else chose. Let me lift the self-blame, the "if only I had," the "why didn't I," the "I should have known," because that is not wisdom. That is a burden you were never meant to wear. I am removing it. I am lifting it. I am breathing on the places that went numb. Do not rush this, my child. Do not demand of yourself a clean, instant finish. Healing is not a single moment. It is a holy process. Some days you will feel light, and other days the ache will tap you on the shoulder again, and you will think you have gone backward, but you have not. You are not back at the beginning. You are simply becoming honest in deeper layers. and I will not scold you for that. I walk. I do not rush your soul. I am patient with your unfolding. I am steady in your tears. I am close in your questions, and every time you let me in again, every time you choose truth again, every time you breathe again, every time you release again, you are not falling apart. You are coming back together under my hands. So open that door, even a crack, and let my light reach what you have kept hidden. Let me be the safe place inside you. Let me be the defender you didn't have. Let me be the father who stays. And as you let me in, I will restore you from the inside out, until the memory no longer controls your body, until the past no longer writes your expectations, until you can think of what happened without becoming trapped in it, because you will not be alone in that room anymore. I am there. I have always been there, and I am turning the place of pain into a place of healing, one honest step, one surrendered breath, one gentle act of trust at a time. Now, my child, as you stand in that softened place where you have stopped running, where you have let me touch what was tender, I need you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not doing this alone in the unseen. There are movements you cannot track with your natural eyes. There are shifts you cannot measure with your old logic. There are answers already in motion that you have not yet held in your hands. Do not interpret quiet as inactivity. Do not mistake my gentleness for delay. I have been working while you were weeping, working while you were waiting, working while you were learning how to breathe again without bracing for impact. Heaven is not watching you struggle from a distance. Heaven is moving toward you. I am mobilizing help on your behalf. Yes, my beloved assignments that were sent to confuse you, to fog your discernment, to keep you second-guessing every step, to make you suspicious of every good thing, to make you question whether you heard me at all. Those assignments are being revoked. I am canceling the noise that has tried to mimic my voice. I am silencing the static that has turned simple decisions into exhausting battles. Some of you have lived under a cloud where every option felt dangerous and every path felt unclear, and you thought that was wisdom, but it was fear wearing a mask. I am lifting that cloud. I am restoring clarity. I am sending peace ahead of you like a lamp on the road, and I am assigning my messengers to guard what I am birthing in you. And hear me, you will not stay trapped in cycles of confusion. You will not keep walking in circles because you are afraid to choose. I am giving you clean direction, steady direction, direction that does not come with panic attached to it. When I lead you, I do not drive you like a slave. I shepherd you like a child. When I speak, I do not crush you with urgency. I strengthen you with truth. So when you feel the old swirl begin, when your mind starts asking the same questions in the same frantic tone, pause and remember, that confusion is not your personality. That confusion is not your fate. That confusion is not your portion. I am breaking it, and I am establishing you in peace. And the doors, my child, the doors you knocked on that did not answer, the places where you applied and heard nothing, the conversations that stayed closed, the opportunities that seemed to pass you by as if your name was invisible. I have not forgotten them. I have not ignored your prayers. I have not dismissed your effort. I have watched you wonder if you missed your moment, if you ruined your chance, if you were too late, too much, not enough. But I tell you now, the hour has turned. What once was held back for your protection is about to open for your progression. Some doors did not open because you were unworthy. They did not open because the timing was not ready, because you were not meant to walk into something that would have drained you, distracted you, or demanded a version of you that was still bleeding in secret. But you have been healing. You have been learning. You have been becoming stable. And now, as you step out of fear's room, as you breathe with me, as you answer the script with truth, the very thing that felt like delay is becoming alignment. So do not be shocked when what ignored you begins to recognize you. Do not be surprised when the same space that felt locked begins to move, when the same situation that felt stuck begins to shift, when the same people who would not listen suddenly hear you, when provision begins to find you instead of you chasing it in exhaustion. I am not saying this to tease you, and I am not saying this to make you restless. I am saying it to anchor you. I am advancing goodness toward you, externally and within. I am bringing you into openings that match the healed version of you, the steadied version of you, the version of you that no longer needs fear to feel prepared. You will not have to force these doors with frantic hands. You will walk, and they will swing. You will knock, and there will be an answer. You will step, and the ground will be there. And as I move around you, I am also moving inside you, because the greatest evidence of my work is not only what changes in your circumstances, but what changes in your nervous system, what changes in your expectations, what changes in the way you greet tomorrow. Peace will become your default, not your exception. Peace will not be a visitor that comes once in a while and then leaves you to fend for yourself. Peace will become familiar. Peace will become your baseline. You will begin to notice, my child, that you are not scanning every room anymore. You are not rehearsing disasters before they happen. You are not waking up already tired from imaginary battles. I am teaching your body that it is safe to exhale. I am teaching your mind that it does not have to sprint to the worst conclusion. I am teaching your heart that trust is not foolish when it is placed in me. You will sleep, my beloved, not the shallow, half-awake sleep where you keep one ear open for fear, but real rest, the kind that repairs you, the kind that lowers your shoulders, the kind that lets your spirit unclench. And you will not dread the morning. You will not wake up and immediately feel the weight of what-ifs pressing on your chest. Morning will not feel like a courtroom where you are on trial again. Morning will begin to feel like mercy. Morning will begin to feel like newness. Morning will begin to feel like me, meeting you before you even gather your thoughts, whispering, I am here, and I will carry you through this day. Some of you have been afraid to hope because hope felt like a setup. You have been afraid to relax because you believed calm would make you careless. But I am retraining you. I am restoring you to a childlike trust that is not naive, a quiet confidence that does not depend on everything being perfect, a steady joy that does not collapse when one thing goes wrong. My goodness is not fragile. My plans are not threatened by your feelings. My hand is not shortened by what you have survived. And I am telling you now, so you can stop bracing and start receiving. Heaven is moving. Help is moving. Doors are moving. Healing is moving. Peace is moving. Stay with me, my child. Do not run ahead of what I am doing. Do not run back to fear, to feel familiar. Let this be your new normal. Clarity instead of confusion. Openings instead of walls. Rest instead of dread. I am not only saving you from what frightened you, I am leading you into what I prepared for you. And what I prepared is not chaos. What I prepared is not constant striving. What I prepared is peace, and a path where you can finally walk without shaking, because you will know, deep in your bones, that you are not being hunted by tomorrow, you are being guided by me. Now, my child, because you can feel my peace beginning to settle on you, I am calling you into something that will protect what I am planting. Do not treat this as a passing moment. Do not let this be a temporary calm that fear steals back tomorrow morning. I am bringing you into alignment, into a holy, deliberate yes, because fear has not only been a feeling around you, it has been an agreement within you. It has been a contract you never meant to sign, but you did, little by little. Every time you believed its predictions, every time you obeyed its urgency, every time you called its alarms, wisdom. And I am not condemning you, my beloved. I am freeing you, because your yes to me cancels your contract with fear. So stay here with me. Let your heart get quiet enough to choose, and say with me, if only in the inside of you, if only as a whisper you can barely form, say, I break agreement with fear, I agree with the voice of my Father. Say it again, my child, not as a slogan, but as a turning. I break agreement with fear, I agree with the voice of my Father. And as you say it, I am not only hearing you, I am honoring you. Heaven responds to agreement. Your spirit responds to agreement. Your future responds to agreement, because what you agree with is what you empower, and you have empowered fear long enough. Fear has tried to be your advisor, but it only knows how to speak in threats. It has tried to be your planner, but it only knows how to build prisons. It has tried to be your motivator, but it only knows how to drive you with panic. And it taught you rituals, didn't it? The ritual of catastrophizing, where your mind runs to the worst ending as if rehearsing pain could prevent pain. The ritual of rehearsing, where you practice conversations that haven't happened, losses that haven't arrived, emergencies that are not at your door, until your body is exhausted from battles that never occurred. The ritual of bracing, where you tighten your shoulders, clench your jaw, hold your breath, and call that posture being prepared, when it has really been a form of worship toward fear's god of control. But I am giving you a new ritual now, my beloved. Not a ritual that drains you, but a ritual that anchors you. The ritual of trust, the holy habit of returning to me before you return to the what if. The practice of handing me the pen before fear writes another paragraph. When you feel the familiar urge to scan, to spiral, to plan in panic, I want you to recognize it for what it is. An invitation to sign fear's contract again. And I am telling you, with steady love, you do not have to sign it. You can lay the paper down, you can walk away, you can say, "No, I have already agreed with my Father." Listen closely, my child, because this is important. Agreement is not only what you say with your mouth, it is what you repeatedly do with your attention. Fear has trained your attention to look for danger first, to interpret silence as threat, to treat delay as doom, to mistake peace for carelessness. But I am retraining you. I am reteaching your nervous system to rest under my hand. Yes, your body, your breath, your muscles, your sleep. The part of you that flinches before your mind even finishes the thought. The part of you that learned to stay on duty because once, long ago, you were hurt and no one could stop it. I know, I saw it. And I am not asking you to heal by pretending it never happened. I am healing you by giving you a new covering in the present so your body learns a new truth. You are not alone anymore. You are not guarding yourself anymore. You are being kept. So when the old ritual starts, when you catch yourself forecasting disaster, replaying worst cases, bracing as if a blow is guaranteed, pause. Put your hand over your heart if you can. Slow your breathing. And instead of rehearsing tragedy, rehearse my nearness. Instead of scanning for what could go wrong, acknowledge what is already true. I am here. I am with you. I am for you. I am ahead of you. And say it, my child, because your soul needs to hear you choose. I break agreement with fear. I agree with the voice of my Father. That is alignment. That is warfare you do not have to shout to win. That is authority expressed through surrender. And do not be surprised if fear protests when you cancel the contract. It has lived off your agreement. It has fed on your attention. It has grown comfortable in the patterns you built to survive. So it will knock again. It will try to bring you back with familiar sensations, familiar urgency, familiar pressure. But you will not panic at the knock. You will not mistake the knock for a command. You will remember, a feeling can rise, but it does not have to rule. A thought can arrive, but it does not have to reign. You are not owned by fear's voice. You belong to me. This is how your peace becomes permanent, my beloved, not because you never feel anxious again, but because you stop partnering with anxiety as if it is your protector. You stop feeding it your imagination. You stop paying it your time. You stop bowing to it with your rituals. And you start trusting me in small, repeated ways until your inner world learns that trust is safe. You will still be wise, yes. You will still be discerning, yes. But you will no longer be dominated. You will no longer be driven. You will be led. So choose again, right now, in this moment I appointed for you. Let your yes be simple. Let it be sincere. Let it be strong. Father, I agree with you, and as you agree with me, I am establishing you. I am sealing you in peace. I am teaching your whole life, mind, body, and spirit, that fear is not the author of your future. I am. And your agreement with me is the signature that ends fear's story over you. Now, my child, do not let this remain only a decision in your mind. Let it become an encounter in your spirit. Because I did not bring you this far to leave you with a technique. I brought you here to give you my presence. And my presence is not an idea you admire from a distance. My presence is the place fear loses its grip. My presence is the place your body learns it is safe again. My presence is the place your heart stops negotiating with dread and begins to rest under my hand. So come with me right now. Do not rush. Do not perform. Do not try to pray the right way as if you must earn comfort. I am already here. And I want you to feel that, not later, not when everything is perfect, but now, in the middle of your real life, in the middle of the thoughts that have been spinning, in the middle of the pressure that has been sitting on your chest. Put your hand over your heart if you can. Feel the beating that has kept going through every hard day, every sleepless night. Every moment you thought you wouldn't make it through. I have been the one sustaining that beat, my beloved. I have been closer than your fear has ever admitted. And now, with your hand there, I want you to repeat softly after me, not as a mantra, but as a surrender, not as a wish, but as agreement. Whisper it, my child, even if your voice trembles, even if all you can do is think the words. Say, Jesus, you are here. Say it again, slowly. Jesus, you are here. And one more time, because your soul needs to hear you choose what is true over what is loud. Jesus, you are here. Now say, I give you my fear. Yes, my child, name it. Do not pretend you are fine. Do not hide behind strength. You are safe with me. Say, I give you my fear. The fear of what might happen. The fear of being disappointed again. The fear of losing what you love. The fear of not having enough. The fear that you will be too much for people or not enough for the moment. Give it to me. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel brave. Give it now. Jesus, I give you my fear. Now breathe with me. Slow your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in and out. Let the exhale be a release. Let it be a laying down. For some of you, you have been holding your breath for years, not with your lungs only, but with your life waiting for the next hit, the next bad news, the next thing to go wrong. But I am retraining you, my child. I am teaching you to exhale without punishment. I am teaching you to rest without fear of consequences. Breathe again, in and out. And as you breathe, I am pouring peace where panic has been spilling. I am pouring calm where the alarms have been blaring. I am pouring steadiness where your thoughts have been sprinting. And you may feel it, my beloved, like warmth rising where cold dread sat in your chest. Because fear has been a cold thing in you, hasn't it? It has tightened you. It has chilled your hope. It has turned your stomach, clenched your jaw, hardened your shoulders as if bracing could keep you safe. But I am here, and I am not a distant God watching you manage yourself. I am near. I am present. I am close enough to touch what is trembling, and I am exchanging what you carried for what I give. I am taking the fear you hand me, and I am placing my presence in its place. So receive it now. Do not analyze it. Do not chase a sensation. Just receive. Say, Father, I receive your peace. Again, Father, I receive your peace. Let that peace move through you like oil, softening what has been rigid, quieting what has been loud, loosening what has been clenched. Let it settle behind your eyes. Let it settle in your throat, where you have swallowed so many words. Let it settle in your chest, where you have lived on alert. Let it settle in your belly, where anxiety has churned. My peace is not fragile, my child. It does not break because your mind has questions. It does not leave because your past was heavy. My peace is strong enough to live inside your real story. Now speak to me plainly, because I am listening. Tell me what fear has been saying. Tell me what it has threatened you with. Tell me what it has convinced you will never change. And as you tell me, I am not overwhelmed by you. I am not disappointed in you. I am not backing away. I am drawing nearer. I am lifting the weight off your internal world. I am separating you from the lie. I am reminding you that you are not your panic. You are not your worst-case scenarios. You are not the voice that accuses you at night. You are mine. And I am placing a new sentence in your mouth, my beloved. Say it. I am not alone. Again, I am not alone. Say, I am safe with Jesus. Say, my future is in God's hands. Yes, let that be the new script. Let that be the language your mind learns. Let that be the truth your body begins to believe. Because as you pray, I am exchanging fear for presence. Presence that steadies you. Presence that anchors you. Presence that reminds you you are carried. And now, my child, do not walk out of this moment as if you must carry it by yourself again. I have never intended for you to be isolated in your battle. So I want you to do something simple, something humble, something powerful. Share your specific prayer request in the comments. Not a perfect paragraph, not a cleaned up version, just the truth. Because I am gathering a family around you. I am building a community that will carry you, and your burden will not be walked alone. When you name what you need, you break the secrecy fear feeds on. When you ask for prayer, you step out of hiding and into covering. Let my people agree with you. Let them stand with you. Let them speak life when your strength feels small. So, even now, as your hand rests over your heart, whisper again, Jesus, you are here. I give you my fear. Breathe in and out, and receive this. My beloved, I am with you. I am not leaving you. I am establishing you. The panic is not your master. The presence is your portion. And what I begin in this prayer, I will continue until peace is not just a moment you visit, but a home you live in, with me at the center of it. Now, my child, I will not let you leave this moment with only a beautiful feeling and no pathway. I am not just giving you relief for tonight, I am teaching you how to walk out of fear's room for good. Because peace is not only something you receive in one prayer, peace is something you practice with me until it becomes familiar, until it becomes the way your soul returns home. And do not despise this, my beloved. The permanent shift is often anchored by small obediences that look simple on the outside, but are powerful in the unseen. Tiny yeses, quiet choices, a steady return. This is how you keep what I have planted. So, I am giving you a 7-day walkout plan, not as a burden, not as a performance, but as a covering. 7 days of retraining your attention, 7 days of reminding your body it is safe to exhale. 7 days of interrupting fear's scripts before they become your soundtrack again. And I want you to hear me clearly. You do not have to do it perfectly for it to be real. You only have to do it willingly. You only have to come back when you notice you wandered. I can work with a willing heart, my child. I can build a new normal through simple, faithful steps. Day 1 and day 2, I want you to begin and end your day with the breath prayer you just practiced with me. Before your phone has a chance to speak, before your schedule has a chance to demand, before the old reflex of bracing has a chance to tighten your chest, put your hand over your heart and whisper, Jesus, you are here. Breathe in and out. Whisper, I give you my fear. Breathe in and out. And then, my child. Take 1 minute, only one, and write down one fear you are rewriting that day. Not 10. Not a whole list that overwhelms you. 1. Name it honestly. The way fear says it, the way it tries to predict your future, the way it tries to label you. And then write my answer beside it. Fear says, something bad is coming. You write, God is with me, and He will carry me. Fear says, I will never change. You write, the Father is healing me, and peace is becoming my home. Fear says, I am alone. You write, I am not alone. Jesus is here. This is not journaling to impress me. This is you placing truth where fear has been living rent-free. This is you handing me the pen again and again until your mind learns whose handwriting it belongs to. Day 3 and day 4, my beloved, I want you to create one small boundary in the place where fear most often speaks. Because fear loves an open door. Fear loves endless access. Fear loves late-night hours, when your mind is tired and your defenses are low. Fear loves the scroll that never ends, the news that keeps your body on alert, the conversations that feed your suspicion, the habit of lying in bed and replaying everything you cannot control. So choose one doorway and put peace there like a guard. Maybe it is no news for 48 hours. Maybe it is a limit on scrolling 10 minutes. Then stop. Maybe it is placing your phone across the room after a certain hour so your last moments are not filled with alarms. Maybe it is a gentle rule. When I get into bed, I do not rehearse tomorrow's disasters. I breathe with God and I rest. And fear will protest. Yes, it will tell you you are being irresponsible, that you need to stay informed, that you need to stay vigilant, that if you relax, you will be caught off guard. But I tell you, my child, vigilance is not the same as wisdom, and anxiety is not discernment. This boundary is not you avoiding life. It is you protecting the work I am doing in you. It is you saying, I will not feed what I am asking God to heal. And day 5 through day 7, I want you to practice courage in a gentle way. Share one testimony of peace with someone, not a sermon, not a performance, just a sentence. Something shifted in me. I'm learning to breathe again. I felt God's presence calm me. I said no to a spiral, and I felt steady. Because when you speak peace out loud, you strengthen it inside you. When you testify, you mark the moment. You build an altar of remembrance in your ordinary life. And fear hates remembrance, because fear survives on you forgetting what I have already done. So tell someone you trust. Send the text. Say it quietly to a friend. Write it in a note. And if you have no one you feel safe telling yet, tell me, my beloved, whisper it in the room where you are, and let heaven hear you agree with what I am building. And also, day 5 through day 7, I want you to return to the places that calmed you. Re-watch the parts that steadied your breathing. Re-listen to the sentences that made your shoulders drop. Not because you are weak, but because you are learning. This is how new pathways form, my child, through repetition with me, through returning without shame, through practicing peace, until it becomes your first response instead of your last resort. When the old sensations come, do not be alarmed as if you failed. Recognize it as a moment to practice. Put your hand over your heart again. Jesus, you are here. Breathe in and out. I give you my fear. And then answer fear's script with my words until your body believes what your spirit has chosen. Do you see what I am doing, my beloved? I am making this practical because I intend to make it permanent. I am teaching you to start the day with me and end the day with me, to rewrite one fear at a time instead of drowning in all of them at once, to close one door where anxiety has been feasting, and to speak peace aloud so it has a voice in your world. These are small obediences, yes, but they are not small in the unseen. They are nails in the floorboards of your new life. They are anchors that hold you steady when the winds try to return. They are daily ways of saying, Father, I agree with you, until agreement becomes instinct. So take these 7 days, my child, and walk them with me. Do not rush them. Do not treat them like a checklist to earn something. Treat them like footsteps out of captivity. And when you stumble, you do not go back to fear's room. You simply turn your face toward me again. Because I am not measuring you with harshness. I am shepherding you with love. And by these small, faithful returns, the big shift will not be a moment you remember. It will be a path you live. Now, my child, I am not letting you end this moment as someone who merely felt better for a few minutes and then returned to the same old name fear has used for you. I am commissioning you. I am setting you in place. I am putting weight on what I have spoken, and I am putting my hand on what you are becoming. Because you did not come this far just to understand peace. You came to walk in it. You did not come this far just to recognize fear. You came to leave it. And I will not let you step back into your day as if you are still unprotected, unseen, and alone. You are mine. You are known. You are covered. You are guided. And you will move forward as the child who is carried. Listen closely, my beloved, because this is where many of my children hesitate. They receive comfort, and then they keep living as if comfort was temporary, as if peace was fragile, as if one hard moment could undo everything I have begun. But I am changing the way you carry yourself. I am changing the way you interpret your life. I am teaching you to let your steps match your new name. No longer burdened, beloved. No longer cornered, carried. No longer driven, directed. No longer hunted by what-ifs held by my hand. When you wake up and the old feeling tries to greet you like a master, you will remember this commission. When the old thoughts come knocking with their familiar urgency, you will remember this commission. When the past tries to reach forward and grab the present, you will remember this commission. Because I am not sending you out with a pep talk, I am sending you out with identity. So, I want you to picture your life the way I see it. Not as a narrow hallway where fear pushes you forward with no air, no room, no rest, but as a path with my presence on it before you, beside you, behind you. You are not walking into an unknown future alone. You are walking into a prepared season with the one who prepares it. I am guarding what concerns you. I am guiding what confuses you. I am steadying what trembles inside you. And even when you cannot see the whole map, you will not be lost, because you will be led. My voice will not abandon you. My wisdom will not hide from you. My peace will not tease you and then disappear. I am with you in the ordinary moments where fear used to bully you, and I am with you in the big moments where you used to panic. I am with you when your phone buzzes, when your chest tightens, when your mind starts to race. I am with you, and my nearness is your safety. Now, my child, I want your mouth to agree with what your spirit has begun to believe. Do not keep this inside as if it is too tender to speak. Speak it, because agreement seals what I am planting. Speak it, because faith becomes stronger when it has a voice. Speak it, because fear has tried to use your own words against you. How many times have you said, I can't, I'm not okay, something bad is coming? It always falls apart. And you called it realism when it was really a wound speaking. But I am giving you new words now, words that do not deny reality, words that declare a greater reality, my presence, my protection, my authorship, my love. So say it aloud now, my beloved. Let your room hear it. Let your body hear it. Let the unseen hear it. Say, fear is not my future. Say it again, slower, with weight. Fear is not my future. And now say, God is with me. Again, God is with me. And now, my child, say the sentence, fear has resisted, because fear wants you exhausted, it wants you braced, it wants you striving, it wants you earning peace like a wage. But I am giving you peace as inheritance. So say it, and I will rest. Yes, say it again, and I will rest. Rest is not your laziness. Rest is your trust. Rest is not you giving up. Rest is you handing me the pen again. Rest is you refusing to worship control. Rest is you living like a carried child. And I commission you, right now, to step forward as one who is seen. Not just seen by people. Not just noticed when you perform. Not just valued when you achieve, seen by me, the one who knew you before you knew yourself. I commission you to step forward as one who is guarded. Not by your constant vigilance, not by your endless scanning, not by your overthinking, but by my faithfulness. I commission you to step forward as one who is guided, not tossed by every emotion, not ruled by every thought, not captured by every alarm, but led by my spirit and steadied by my peace. And when you feel small, you will not interpret smallness as weakness, you will interpret it as a place where I carry you more closely. When you feel tender, you will not call it fragile, you will call it healed. When you feel the old urge to hide, you will remember, you do not have to disappear to be safe anymore. I am your safety. So walk, my child. Walk into your next conversation differently. Walk into your next decision differently. Walk into your next morning differently. Not as someone trying to outrun fear, but as someone who already left fear's room and shut the door behind them. Let your shoulders drop as a testimony. Let your breathing be a prayer. Let your pace be proof that you are no longer driven by panic. You may still hear fear shout sometimes. Yes, but it does not hold the pen. It does not get to name you. It does not get to forecast your ending. You will answer it with what I have given you. Fear is not my future. God is with me, and I will rest. And now I send you, my beloved, not into a life without challenges, but into a life with me in every challenge. Not into a world that will never shake, but into a heart that will not be stolen. Not into a season where you control everything, but into a season where you trust the one who holds everything. Walk as the child who is carried. Walk as the child who is kept. Walk as the child who is loved on purpose. And as you go, I am going with you. As you step, I am steadying you. As you breathe, I am filling you. And the peace you touched here will not stay here, it will travel with you, because I am the God who does not visit and leave. I abide, I remain, I carry. Now, my beloved child, before you move, before you pick up the weight of your day again, before you let the noise rush back in, I am placing a blessing on you that fear cannot steal. I am not giving you something delicate. I am giving you something anchored in me. I bless your mind with calm. I bless the place where thoughts have raced, where images have crowded your sleep, where questions have chased you in circles. I bless your mind with quiet order, with clarity, with a holy steadiness that does not depend on perfect circumstances. I bless your body with rest, because you have lived too long, as if bracing was the same as being safe. I bless your shoulders to unclench, your jaw to loosen, your stomach to settle, your heartbeat to slow into a rhythm that remembers you are not being hunted, you are being held. And I bless your future with hope, not the fragile kind that rises and falls with what people do, not the kind that collapses under one bad report, but the kind that is rooted in my character, because I am already in your tomorrow, my child. I am already in the room you are worried about. I am already in the conversation you keep rehearsing. I am already ahead of you, preparing what you could not prepare for yourself. And hear me clearly. Goodness and mercy will follow you, not occasionally, not when you earn it, not only when you feel strong. They will follow you like faithful shadows, like companions appointed by heaven, like evidence that I have not changed my mind about you. When you walk into your week, goodness will be there. When you sit in your car and the old anxiety tries to climb into the passenger seat, mercy will be there. When you lie down at night and your mind tries to open its familiar file of fears, goodness will be there. When you wake and feel tender, mercy will be there. You have been expecting the worst for so long that your nervous system learned to treat peace like a visitor, but I am teaching you, patiently and powerfully, to recognize peace as a covering, not because life will never shake, but because I will never leave. And when night returns, because sometimes it does, My child, do not interpret the return of a feeling as the return of captivity. Do not panic just because your body remembers an old pattern. Hold to this word. Hold to what I spoke. Hold to what you felt when you breathed with me and the alarms began to quiet. The night is not proof that you are failing. It is simply another place I will meet you, and I am nearer than your next thought. Before fear finishes its sentence, I am already there. Before dread paints its picture, I am already there. Before you reach for control, I am already there. So when you feel the familiar tightening, do not run farther into your mind, turn toward me. Whisper, Jesus, you are here. Let that be your lamp in the dark. Let that be your hand on the doorknob when fear tries to pull you back into its room. Let that be the way you remember that you are not alone, not for one breath, not for one moment, not for one midnight hour. Carry my peace with you now, my beloved. Carry it into the ordinary places where you used to fall apart quietly. Carry it into the store, into the meeting, into the kitchen, into the text message you've been avoiding, into the silence where your thoughts used to bully you, and protect what I have planted with your agreement. Do not let fear debate you in the doorway. Do not let old habits negotiate your identity. When fear knocks, answer with truth. When anxiety rises, respond with breath. When the past tries to predict your ending, stand in the present with me and say what is real. Agreement is not a small thing, my child. Agreement is a gate. Agreement is a shield. Agreement is how you keep your soul facing the right direction when the wind changes. And now, I am asking you for one act of faith that becomes a seed for someone else. If this word freed you even a little, even for one breath like this, so it can reach another anxious heart that feels alone in the dark, subscribe, not as a ritual, but as a meeting place, so you can come back and let me steady you again, train you again, remind you again that you are carried. Share this with the one fear tries to isolate, the one who has been smiling while silently drowning, the one who says they are fine but hasn't rested in months, because I am sending peace through you, and I will use your obedience as a bridge. And in the comments, my beloved, declare it one more time, not to impress anyone, not to perform, but to seal your agreement over your life. Write it with conviction. Write it with tenderness. Write it even if your hands tremble. Fear is not my future. Say it again in your spirit as you type it. Fear is not my future, because I am your Father, and I hold the pen. I bless you as you go out and as you come in. I bless your sleep with safety. I bless your mornings with gentleness. I bless your decisions with wisdom. I bless your relationships with peace. I bless your steps with guidance. And I bless your heart with the deep knowing you have been longing for. You are mine. You are seen. You are carried. And you will not be consumed by what used to consume you. So go now, my child, and do not rush back into panic as if it is familiar home. Your home is my presence. Your portion is my peace. And as you walk, may my calm guard you. May my joy strengthen you. May my love surround you. And may goodness and mercy follow you all the days ahead, because I am with you, and I will keep you.